Hello lads, lassies, and those of unspecified gender, it's the Irishman here, and today I'm going to be talking about what would have happened if Goku married Bulma. Now, in original Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z or GT or Super, no fancy words in front of it, just Dragon Ball, we got to see the adventures of Goku and Bulma. Now, more so Goku, as he is really the main character of the Dragon Ball franchise, as well as probably the most important character since it all focuses around him, but Bulma is also incredibly important as well as sort of a supporting main character in OG Dragon Ball. And they did kind of have a will they won't they thing between Goku and Bulma. So what if we chose to go with will they instead of won't they? What if Goku married Bulma? And without wasting any more time, let's get into the story of this what if. Now, like I said in the intro, we don't actually need to do much to start this story off. Goku and Bulma already had a budding romance in OG Dragon Ball, so all that we really need to do now is have Bulma decide that she wants to pursue that passion, and have Goku basically just be his dumb lovable self, although not promise to marry Chi-Chi, instead opting to just ignore the question, or maybe, since we are the ones writing this story, just not have her ask it. It's a pretty weird thing for an 11-year-old to be talking about anyway, so yeah, she just doesn't say it. Now, the first decent change to this story would actually be Goku's wedding. It'd be a far nicer wedding than what we saw with him and Chi-Chi. Yes, it would probably be very nice at Goku and Chi-Chi's wedding. Chi-Chi was still rich because of inheritance from the Ox King, and really I don't think the Ox King would pull any punches with their wedding, but in terms of how hard these punches are, metaphorically speaking, Dr. Briefs, Bulma's father, would punch far harder. The Briefs family is the richest family in the entire world. Goku's wedding here would be insane. It would have everything that you could possibly imagine at the perfect wedding, because Dr. Briefs is going to provide for his daughter. That's his baby girl, after all. She wants to get married to some hillbilly. Well, he's going to make sure that is the nicest hillbilly wedding to ever happen. Well, the next point to bring up, logically, in this what-if timeline, is Baby Trunks. Or should we say Gohan? Well, honestly, I feel like they look more like Trunks, but probably still be named Gohan, seeing as Gohan would still probably be the name Goku would want to choose. And after Bulma hears the reasoning for this name, well, she just can't help but agree. Not only is it absolutely adorable, but it's also just so sentimental and nice. She wasn't expecting something so sort of wholesome from Goku. Yeah, sure, he can be silly and goofy at times, but this is just really sweet and sincere. Bulma's going to go with it, but once they have another kid, which I guarantee you they will, she gets to name it, and she's going to name it Trunks. Well, whether it's a boy or a girl, the name fits, and she just likes it, you know? It fits her family name puns. Bulma, Bra, Briefs, it all just kind of fits. And she wants to use it. She's been waiting to use it for a while now. It just so happens Goku had a better name, so she gets to use it on her next kid. Now, prior to being able to talk about everything that happens with Raditz and Kame House, a very useful thing we definitely need to bring up is Goku's training over this time period. Now, honestly, I didn't expect to say much other than Goku trains a bit more because Bulma would be less strict with this sort of thing. But as someone conveniently pointed out in the comments of the post I first mentioned this topic in, he would have access to gravity training before Raditz even arrives on Earth. Does this mean that he reaches his Ginyu Saga power level? Yes. Do I hate it? Also, yes. I did not want to make a story with an overpowered character here. I wanted to keep it somewhat on track. But there Goku goes, getting super strong really quickly. And you want to know the worst part? He reached that power level in the first 6 or 7 days. And he has 365 times 5, actually no, times 6, before he would even canonically reach that strength. So, you know, that's pretty neat. So what happens when Raditz actually arrives on Earth? Well, I doubt he'd actually go to Kame House here. Mostly because I don't feel like there'd be a Kame House reunion. It's not like with Chi-Chi and Goku, where they went out and lived on Mount Paozu for 5 years, basically in seclusion. No, Bulma and Goku would keep in regular contact with everybody at Kame House, so there'd be no real need for a reunion there. Now when it comes to Raditz's actual arrival on Earth, I don't see too much changing for the beginning stages. He would still have that little bit with the farmer and the shotgun where he throws his bullet back to him even faster and harder than the gun could've, and then Raditz would talk to Piccolo, saying, hey, you're quite a wee bit strong, but sadly you're incredibly weak actually, and I just gaslit you. Then he would fly over to Capsule Corp and, well, quite frankly, he'd have the same interaction as he did with Goku at Kame House. Only until Goku powers up and shows that scouters are non-reliable. Raditz would be dumbfounded as Goku's power level would soar up past even the 10,000 range before his scouter then explodes. Goku is incredibly powerful here, and 10,000 was just kind of a way for Raditz to see, well, that guy is way out of my league. Now, the way I see it, any time that Raditz is encountered with a Goku who has a power level in the 5-digit range, that means Raditz is going to turn good out of fear, tucking his tail between his legs and either fleeing or staying on Earth with the rest of the Z-Gang, eventually turning into a generally good person. Although here I want to twist it up a bit. Let's say Raditz, having only seen Goku's power level rise to about 10,000, would decide he might be able to take Goku on in his Great Ape form. Seeing as Goku doesn't have a tail, Raditz should be able to do this. He would then create an artificial moon and power up into Great Ape, utilizing his power level of 1.5 thousand, then being multiplied by 10 to bring him up to 15,000, which should bring him above his brother's strength, right? Wrong. Goku could very easily take Raditz out here, as his true power level would probably be around the 50 million range. Keep in mind, this is a Goku who has been training for 5 years, and has been using gravity training during those 5 years, and would basically never hit a ceiling in terms of enhanced gravity, as Bulma could just adjust the machine to go even higher and higher, therefore allowing Goku to constantly break his limits. Yeah, Goku's pretty OP here. But you wanna know who's also pretty overpowered? Gohan. And he just turned into a Great Ape because Gohan would still have his tail. So now we get to see Gohan, who has also been doing gravity training for the last year or so, once he was actually able to sustain a gravity higher than that of Earth's and actually, walk regularly without gravity. He was training. Now in the Great Ape form, yeah, he's kind of a rampaging monster. Goku could still take him out, but he wants to see how Gohan could fare against Raditz, especially if he's able to control this Great Ape form. And surprise surprise, Gohan's kind of a berserker at first, although he's able to get control over it relatively quickly actually, as I personally believe the stronger you are, the more adept or more easily able you are to gain control over the Great Ape form. Granted, Raditz here would have good control over the form, only because I feel like it's something Raditz would try and master, that way he can utilize it more effectively. Gohan, on the other hand, would just master it through brute force. Now we have a giant Great Ape battle, except one is far stronger than the other. Gohan easily beats Raditz, and by accident, because of the trumped up bloodlust, would kill his uncle. Although, Raditz was kind of a horrible person anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Although, once they actually go and check out Raditz's spaceship, they would see that there are scouter transmissions coming to Raditz. Vegeta and Nappa saying that they will be there in 1 year's time. That way they can finally reclaim their Saiyan glory and take out the person that killed Raditz, as well as getting those Dragon Ball things, because in one way or another, I feel like Goku would slip up and mention them. This is Goku after all, and the Dragon Balls are the name of the show, so it's bound to be brought up sooner or later. But just to keep this story interesting, let's say that it just so happens that Frieza was listening at the perfect time. He was able to hear through Raditz's scouter transmissions that the Dragon Balls are a real thing. He had his speculations beforehand, but now getting confirmation that they really exist? Ooh, this is definitely interesting. If they exist on Earth with one Namekian there to actually create them, then they would have to exist on Namek, where there is a surge of Namekians there who could probably whip up hundreds of sets of Dragon Balls. Oh, Frieza can't wait. He's going to get his immortality, and maybe then he can be the eternal ruler of the universe. Ooh, dreams in the making. So many possibilities, but we're going to have to wait on some of those until the next part. And that's where we're going to be leaving things off for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this, as I certainly enjoy making it, and if you could, please like the video, subscribe to the page, and hit the notification bell. That would be very much appreciated. Thank you all so very much for watching. This is, always has been, and always will be the Irishman. Talk to you later. Bye.